Well, hello everybody. Hope everybody's doing good again today. So we're 17 days away from the dental implants. Just wanted to kind of follow up on where we left off last time. Um, and I got to quit saying not very good at this, as you know, as you can see. So when I started about 6 years ago, I went to the dentist. My teeth were filling to a point of we needed to do something. So he recommended the dental implants. Well, they were only going to do like four implants on the top, one on the bottom. They were going to do total replacement on the top of my teeth. And on the bottom, they were going to kind of fill in that side and then kind of cap these teeth. So I went to a dentist about an hour and a half away from the house where I had to give them $800 to do full x-rays on the bone structure and everything. That's kind of where they find out your bone density. Do you have to have bone grafts, anything like that done? Which at that time I didn't have to have any type of things like that. But then that was like 6 years ago, right about the same time I was diagnosed with kidney cancer. So that kind of put that on hold, focused more on the cancer part. That's a whole different story. We won't get into that, but 6 years now, I don't have cancer, and scans have been good. Um, so I've got a price on that was like $63,000, which there's no way I could afford that. And so I put it off again. A couple of years went by. I was back home and went to see my old family dentist. And by then, now he's doing dental implants. So we did the scans. Didn't cost me anything to do the scans. We did the scans there. And again, this was going to be just full top and bottom replacements. And went through all that procedure. And that price was like $57,000 to do that. Again, it's so hard to, my goodness, that's a new car. It's a lot of different things. That's just a ton of money. And at the time, again, I can't afford that. So just recently, again, with my local dentist here in town, I had this tooth chip. And so instead of like filling it in, all we did was kind of shaved it down so you couldn't see the chip. Shave this one down so they kind of match nastiness, I guess is what it looks like to me. But again, it doesn't fix anything. We fixed this tooth that has now chipped again. That was that pizza incident a couple weeks ago. Um, and again, there's every time you chip something like this tooth here of that filling material that they give you, when it breaks off more of the tooth. And I know there's not much left of that tooth left. When they do my x-rays and I get to see them on the screen, it just looks hideous. I cannot look at those dental x-rays because you get to see, real teeth and then all of the repair on everything. And every repair's got repair except for that lucky tooth. This tooth hangs down so far, it's ridiculous. So anyway, we couldn't do anything more about my teeth without putting money into them. So again, I started the research process again. This time I found a dentist that I think I told you had a great story behind him. When he was about 10 years old, he was riding his bicycle and knocked out his front teeth. And you can see by the way he's talking that, it did bother him to go through that, having fake teeth and what it did to him. And so when he got through his dental schooling and such, he started doing dental implants. So I made an appointment. I went to a satellite office of his. It was closer to me in town, and we did all the dental X-rays and CT scans or whatever they are, and then I spoke to him by FaceTime and talked to him personally, and he gave me a quote of $42,000. to get everything done. And then he gave me some information on different places that I could go to for financing. Which, again, that's something that no one's done before, is given me any information on financing. I looked on the internet quite a bit, and it's so wide range. And of course, you never get quotes, so you never get interest rates, so you didn't know anything like that. And of course, when it comes to interest rates, of course, that has everything to do with credit. We all know that. And the better the credit, the better interest rates that you'll receive. So I went through that process to get that information. In the meantime, again, I only went to the satellite locations, and I went down and actually saw him about a week ago, and got to sit down and talk to the receptionist up front. He was in surgery at the time, so he couldn't come out and visit with me. But the receptionist was just over the top fantastic. Answered all my questions. And again, like most of the time, I don't know the questions to ask. So I relied on her to give me answers to questions I didn't even ask. About, like, what can I eat? What am I expecting after this surgery? How much pain am I going to be in? For how long? I work like an 8-day on, 6-day off schedule. So could I do this on a Thursday and then in 5 days be well enough to go back to work? And she assured me that in most 99% of the cases that yes, that is enough time to heal enough to be able to go back to work. But she gave me the list of the soft food diet I have to be on, which is, just soups and Jello, pudding, these kind of type foods. So again, my wife's been practicing with soups, and I don't want to keep eating them because I'm going to get tired of soups before I even have to start eating them. But they've been really good. My wife's a great cook, and it's been successful. So again, like I said, we're 17 days away from getting this done, 18 days away from getting this done. The anxiety's starting to build a little bit. But that's kind of the dental history of my mouth, not going back too many years, but just seeking the implants of what we've talked about. We talked about dentures. Of course, it's you can't chew on most things, and of course, there's no way to really secure them good. So I didn't want to go to that option, especially losing the taste buds. I love flavor, and I didn't want to lose that part of it. So that just wasn't an option. And just doing a piecemeal where, put a couple of implants over here, and at least it would give me teeth this way, and back in here, getting the implants to fill in, wouldn't do. I've let my teeth go for too long. So, of course, dentists tell you, if you pull a tooth, then your teeth want to start spreading apart, and they've spread apart too far. So follow me on this journey. We're not far away from doing this. Next video, I'll get more into the financing, what I learned about all of that. But I would ask if you guys want to subscribe and follow this journey. I'll take you all the way through it till after surgery. And as soon as I get back from the surgery from the hotel, we'll do a video on it and let you kind of see exactly how I feel. And it might be a lot interesting to a lot of people that's thinking about doing this. And anyway, thanks again. Subscribe.